Hey guys, so it's been quite some time since my last video. I've taken a few food videos here and there, but I just keep forgetting to put them up. But yeah, this is gonna be a vlog again. Most of my videos are vlogs anyways, so shouldn't come as a surprise. Just a few updates. I'm really well. It's getting really nice outside, temperature wise, and it almost skipped spring. It's starting to like kick into summer. But yeah, I'm living well, healthy, starting to play a lot more basketball now that it's warm outside. I'm making dietary changes, keep myself even more healthy, get along with everyone at school, you know. But all of those things apart, there's a few things that I guess I want to talk about. One thing is, so I've been going in and out of Seoul a lot more recently, and it's great. I mean, it gives me an opportunity to sort of relax and talk to people that can speak English naturally, and it's just a great experience. Like, the first time I went to Itaewon was last Friday, and I also went on Saturday with a different group of people. It was fantastic. I mean, I had different food. I was sort of eating too much just Korean food in general. Not that it's bad. I love Korean food, but I just needed something different. So this past weekend, it was a long weekend. I had like Indian food and Mexican food, and that made all the difference. That just made me snap back into this better mind state. Not that I was unhappy eating Korean food. It was just getting too much. If you eat a certain kind of food too often, and I've been used to eating a huge diversity of food in the first place, so it was just nice. Yeah, but going in and out of Seoul, I mean, it's really tough. Earlier in the week, I took a 10:49 p.m. train, which was the last train out of a certain station in Seoul. And by the time I got to my destination, I still need to take a bus, which is about a 25-minute ride. So I had to walk from the station to the bus terminal and then the bus. So about a 30-minute trip overall, 35-minute if you include the commute back to my house. But the buses stopped when I got to my. Buses would have stopped by the time I got to my station. And it did, so I ended up taking the taxi back home. And it's happened too often, where I had to make a train, but I could not get to the station because the buses run every half an hour and they arrive at very awkward times. So even going into Seoul, sometimes I had to take the cab. 18,000 won, which is really expensive considering cab fares are usually about 5,000 won. If you're riding in the city. So I really understand now how inconvenient it could be to sort of do things that I enjoy a lot more now. And I'd always assumed that I'd come back here next year, but it sort of hit me one morning when I just felt like I'm feeling too sentimental about the school, my first co-workers outside of my family, especially working for a year. I've had co-workers for like a few months, but this is different. My first real job outside of family, true independence. But I feel like staying here one more year won't benefit me that much because I want to learn Korean. I can't take any Korean classes here. Tutors don't even want to come over here to teach. people. So it's just not practical at all. Um, Medical wise, I guess. Finding a doctor is easy. Finding a good doctor is difficult. Finding a good doctor that speaks English is, it's even harder to find. They're even harder to find. So, you know, students here don't even go to the doctor in this town. They go to a different town. So for me, I have a muscle contusion in my my quads, and I have a bone bruise in my wrist, and I know this for sure. But I can't really go to the doctor even if I wanted to. And even if I did need to go to the doctor or want to go to the doctor, it's just such a pain. And I shouldn't have to feel that way about something so basic. I mean, I haven't gone to the dentist yet this year. Luckily, I haven't encountered any like significant setbacks health-wise. Like I recovered from my cough earlier in the year, which was fortunate, but I didn't feel like it was something necessary for me to go to the doctor for. So, that's one thing I don't want to have to compromise for another year. So there's Korean classes, there's the doctor thing, and then there's the isolation. There's no one that really speaks English near me. And then if you also consider my age group, even at my school, there are people in my age group. And then there's the cultural gap and the communication gap. And then you could also consider the sex gap as well. Sex and culture gap, if you take into account women. But it's just so hard. I mean, it's just so isolating, this isolating feeling sometimes that I get. And I love the teachers and I love the school. It's just, you can't help but feel isolated still. You just can't be a part of that group in school or out of school. So if I could just be closer to people that I like and I know, that would just make a huge difference. And I feel like I shouldn't be punished, for staying a little later and having to pay a cab, or having to stay at my friend's place just because I can't make it home because of the train schedules and bus schedules. I feel like I shouldn't have to worry about that kind of stuff when I'm just trying to live normally. And this is not a normal circumstance. I mean, I'm in a foreign country. I'm finally comfortable living here. And now I can sort of start reaching out and branching out and enjoying myself. And now I'm realizing the limitations of the location that I work at. So I don't know, I just want to move to a different school. You also take into account basketball, like there's no indoor facilities. Weather should not dictate how healthy and fit I'm going to be. That's a little more selfish, but basketball is just that big for me. If I can't play basketball in the winter time, I'm just going to turn into a fat blob, and it's going to make me feel terrible, and I'm just going to not be efficient at work either. I'm just going to be an unhappy loser guy. So taking a lot of things into consideration, it's just like learning Korean is absolutely huge for me as well. I mentioned that's the first thing I mentioned, but it'd be such a waste not to learn how to speak. I can read already and I can write Korean. It's just a matter of learning. It's like vocabulary and stuff. I need a consistent class schedule to keep me going, to supplement, not even that, like have that as foundation and have or online classes that I'm sort of online free classes that I'm taking to supplement this foundation. It could be weekly. It just needs to be a consistent schedule like that. There needs to be something like that, or else I just won't learn it. And so pretty much everything I just mentioned, it just indicates personal growth, mental stability, physical health, just general health, being closer to friends, accessibility, efficiency, being less stressed out, like all of those things just pointed towards, just moving to a different place, to a different school in the city. I talked to my agency already. They said, yeah, we'll try to find somewhere else for you next year. So it's good that I have a good relationship with them. So that's pretty much my update, and I'm still really happy, and I'm not in the mentality where, oh, because I'm leaving, I'm not going to invest emotional and like my emotions and time and effort. No, like these people deserve it, absolutely, and there's no way I'm thinking otherwise. So I'm really happy that I can feel that way, even though I know in my heart and in my mind that I'm not going to be here. I could always come back and visit as well. So I talked to like one student, and she was actually pretty mature about it. She says, it's not like you're leaving forever. As long as you come back, as long as you're working in Korea, if you come back from time to time, it should be okay. So yeah, I'm not gonna like disconnect myself from this school that's treated me so well. So everything's just going well. Yeah, there's nothing else to say. I mean, I already said a lot. I'd be surprised if most people, got to this point in the video. If you did, thanks. Yeah, they're pretty long. But yeah, it's been so long, so I just felt like I had to say everything at once. And I'm not saying as many uhs and ums. I'm trying to keep it concise. Damn it. But yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that's it for now. Any updates? I'll probably post some of the food videos in the future, and hopefully I'll get to see all of you soon. Later.